Hello and welcome to Tech Deals. Seasonic's Focus Plus Gold 80 Plus certified fully modular power supply, $80. This should be on your short list if you are building a computer for $800 or more and you want to get a premium power supply for a very good price. Now, I've reviewed a lot of power supplies on my channel, including units of about this power level that do cost less. But this has features those don't. And I'm going to talk about that in this video about why this may actually be a better deal than those are. If your computer has up to a Ryzen 7 1700 CPU or an i7 7700K CPU, even overclocked, this is enough for you. Graphics cards, the GTX 1080 Ti will run just fine on this. Anything up to an RX Vega 56 will also run on it. RX Vega 64, get the 650 watt version of this. It's only about $10 more expensive. Now, this will be linked down in the video description below to both Amazon and Newegg, not just the 550 watt version, but I will also link the others as well. It goes up to 850 watts, and the people who should consider the 850 watt version are those wanting to run two graphics cards, either in SLI or Crossfire. But generally, either the 550 or the 650 will be enough for any single one graphics card. What do you get for the extra $30 or so this costs versus the less expensive 80 plus bronze power supplies? It's fully modular for one thing. The cables are completely disconnected. You only use the ones you need. It makes cable management much nicer. They are completely flat black cables, not just sleeved with ketchup and mustard color ribbons beneath them, but they are truly flat back cables. It is 80 plus gold instead of 80 plus bronze. It is between 5 to 10% more power efficient. It uses less electricity from the wall than the 80 plus bronze units do. Now, whether that's worth it to you depends upon where you live and how much you pay for power. It also depends upon how much you use your computer. If your computer is only on 1 or 2 hours a day, it's not likely to make that much of a difference. Do you leave it on all the time? Do you do cryptocurrency mining or video rendering in the background? Do you often game for multiple hours at a time when you're drawing a lot of power from your video card? Over the course of ownership, the power consumption difference between this power supply and the 80 plus bronze can very well add up. An important point about power efficiency is that all power supplies provide their rated power internally to your computer. They overdraw from the wall for what they need. So for 100 watts, an 80 plus bronze pulls 115 watts from the wall, and 80 plus gold pulls 110. For a 500 watt draw, you're looking at 25 fewer watts on the 80 plus gold versus the 80 plus bronze. Now, I understand that 25 watts may not sound like much. It's a pair of LED light bulbs. However, if you use your computer a lot for many years, it does add up. That brings me to the next important feature of this power supply: 10-year warranty. Many of the $50 power supplies only have a 3-year warranty. A few of them may have 4 or 5, but most of them only have a 3-year warranty. This has a full 10-year parts and labor warranty. You will keep this power supply through multiple upgrade cycles of your computer. Over the course of 10 years of ownership, that 25 watts of power savings does add up, especially if you're paying a higher than average rate for electricity. Some other important features of this: it works up to 50 degrees Celsius internally. Many of the less expensive units only work up to 40 degrees, so it can withstand hotter and more demanding environments. It also has 100% solid Japanese capacitors rated up to 105 degrees Celsius internally. Longer lifespan, that's why they're able to provide that 10-year warranty. Do you not like noise? Fanless design. This does not even turn the fan on until you pass 30% load. You're only going to pass 30% load when you're using your graphics card. With this power supply, browsing in Windows, watching videos on YouTube, the fan's not even going to be turned. That's going to be 100% silent. When you're gaming, it has a 120mm fluid dynamic bearing fan. Those $50 units do not. So the fans in those units make more noise than this does. Higher quality fan, higher quality capacitors, better power delivery, more power efficient, 10-year warranty, fully modular, flat black cables. For about $30 over the cheap budget power supplies, you actually get a lot of features. This will last you a long time through multiple upgrade cycles, and if you pay a higher than average rate for power, may even pay for itself. Now, just to be absolutely clear, if you are trying to upgrade the power supply of, say, a Acer Aspire pre-built or a Dell Inspiron that was $400, $500, $600, if you're custom building an inexpensive budget machine in the $400 to $600 price range, as nice as this is, it's probably overkill for those tasks. Are you building an overclockable i5 or i7? Are you building a Ryzen 5 1600 machine for $800 plus? Definitely get an 80 plus gold and put this on your short list. If you look at the cost of 550 to 850 watt power supplies, if you look at the ones that come with 10-year warranties, you will find that it's very hard to get a better deal on the market than this unit. In fact, the only other recent power supply that I've looked at that also has a 10-year warranty is the Corsair RMX line. A very nice power supply, just built one in a machine. But the 850 watt version of this costs less than the 850 watt version of that. Not by a little bit, but it does. Both have 10-year warranties. All the other 80 plus gold units that I've looked at lately have 5-year warranties or less. Put this on your short list. It is a very nice unit. Well, I think that's about enough talking. How about we take it out of the box and take a look at it? Here we are. I've taken the internal cardboard box out of the pretty retail box, and at this point you simply slide this up, open it up, and we'll take a look inside. Inside you can see several things, including a, what is this, free giveaway for a free Bluetooth speaker. There you go. A user's manual, some Velcro straps, and some zip tie straps. That's actually very nice, and these are silk screened. It actually says Focus Plus Gold right on the zip ties right there. We have form-fitting foam. We have the power supply in a bag, and then we have all of the modular cables in a bag as well. I've commented many times on my channel, quality products tend to come in quality boxes, cheap products come in cheap boxes. That's not always true. Often, but not always. This already looks quality. Instead of having this just in a plastic bag, what we have is the power supply in a nice Seasonic bag. In fact, they bothered to even put their logo right on it. That's actually very nice. I'll set that there for the moment. Then we have this bag of all the cables, and I'll set this aside. The nice thing about having a bag like this is that if you don't use all of your cables, it gives you a convenient place to put them. I mentioned it's fully modular. All the cables are disconnected. You only use the ones you need, but if you need an extra in the future, keep them in your bag. Opening this up, let's take a look inside. With all the cables laid out, let's take a look. We have our wall power connector. This is our main power connector with the 3 pins that you simply plug into a standard wall outlet. Next, you have a 4+4 CPU power connector. This is for either the 4-pin or 8-pin CPU power connector on the motherboard. It's split so you can use it either way. Then we have our PCI Express power connector. I mentioned that this is good up for a GTX 1080 Ti. Even if you have a factory overclock model such as the For the Win 3 or the MSI Duke, for example, that needs 2 8-pin connectors, this provides them. They can also be split. They're 6+2, so you can have 2 6-pin, 1 6-pin, 1 8-pin, or 2 8-pin connectors. Now, if you want to run 2 graphics cards, as I said before, you're going to want something higher than this. You want the 850 watt power supply, which will come with more cables. This is for 1 video card, which provides all the cables you need for 1. Next up, we have our 24-pin power connector. This is our main motherboard ATX connector. Now you can see here that this is sleeved with an actual black sleeve, but it is black all the way to the ends, no ketchup and mustard color. This is way too thick in order to actually be flat. The rest of the cables are flat, but that is black sleeve for protection as well as black all the way to the ends. Next up, we have our serial ATA cables. One of these cables has 2. The other has 4, so you have a total of 6 serial ATA power connectors, which should provide all the hard drives and solid state drives you may want to connect. Now these are flat black, just to be absolutely clear. They are completely flat ribbons, not just sleeved. The next cable is a Molex power connector. Most people will never use this, but there are 3 4-pin old school Molex connectors on here if you happen to have an older device that needs one. And then finally, if you have something that needs a floppy power connector, there is a Molex to floppy power adapter should you need one. That brings us to the unit itself. Now the nice thing about this is it's fairly compact in size. I have reviewed many of these in the past which are much, much larger. In fact, that very nice Corsair RMX that I showed you in the recent Ryzen build is nice, but it is in fact longer than this. What you'll find with this power supply, look at that, this fits in almost any case. It's a standard ATX size. Here is your 120 millimeter fluid dynamic bearing fan, which, as I noted before, will not turn till you hit 30% power consumption. Here are all your fully modular connections, fully labeled, to plug all those cables into. Now, as far as the label on it goes, this is what it looks like. It is a very muted, nondescript logo, so it's not glary and flashy. If you're concerned about the appearance of your power supply in your case, it just has the Focus logo, but otherwise is very nondescript. And it's basically the same logo on both sides, depending on how you want to orient it. On the back, there is an eco mode button where you can adjust how the power delivery and how when the fan actually kicks on. More details about that in the manual, but if you want to put it into an eco mode, there is a button for it. You also have a physical power connector switch. I like this. I cannot stand power supplies that don't give me a hard switch. This lets you remove power to the motherboard without having to actually unplug the cable from the back of your power supply while keeping your system grounded. Do you need to work inside your machine, change your graphics card, change your RAM? This lets you leave it plugged in, keeping your machine grounded, but actually kill power to the motherboard. The motherboard is normally live, even if your system is turned off, as long as power is plugged into the power supply. But by physically disconnecting this switch, it actually removes power and lets you safely change components without risk of your machine coming on. This has been my unboxing and overview of the 80 Plus Gold Certified Focus Plus Power Supply from Seasonic, $79. Linked down in the video description below. Go check it out. Like this video if you like it, share it with your friends if you loved it. Remember to subscribe to my channel with the big huge red button directly below. Questions and comments in the comment section, and as always, check out the links in the video description. Down at the bottom of the video description, you'll find links to me on Twitch and Twitter. I post many deals on Twitter, and my stream several times per week on Twitch. If you're interested, go over there, click the follow button, click the notifications if you'd like to be notified when I stream. In addition, you will find my Patreon account down at the very bottom of the video description. If you like my videos and you want to support my channel, please consider donating. It would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.